Welcome to Mailbag Monday. It's crazy. It's already been a week since the last time we did this show. Anyway, I'm John Greaves III. I'm a co-founder of Garage Gym Life, and this is our version of a live AMA. Today, we're going to be answering your top home fitness questions directly from the comment section, plus whatever you guys throw at me in the live chat. So if you want to maximize your garage, your spare bedroom, your basement setup, if you got your home gym in a barn, your driveway, wherever your home gym is. If you want to maximize it, you are in the right place. Before we jump into the questions, you guys do me a favor because I have a question for you. Post in the live chat, where are you guys watching the show from and what kind of home gym do you have? So you can put the state, so if you're watching from Maine, put Maine. If you and then put Maine and then what kind of home gym you have. So it'd be Maine garage, right? Or Pennsylvania basement, something like that, right? That way we kind of get an idea where everybody is coming from. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. We already have a couple of comments that were waiting in the live chat, so we're gonna dive right in. So I don't waste a ton of your time. First question we have is from home. It's from at Home Gym Physique. Now I don't really know if I'll be able to pull this up because this is actually in the live chat of our show at HomeGymCon, and we had some technical issues with the stream. So I don't think his chat got saved, but fortunately I saved it because I intended to answer that question on the show. And he wanted to know, out of all the gym company owners present at HomeGymCon, who has the best physique? So I completely transparent. I did not pay a ton of attention to the physiques at HomeGymCon, especially not about as far as the brand owners go. I do have an answer off the top. I had an answer off the top of my head, and I'll tell you guys what my answer was. But because I knew I wasn't really paying attention to it, I polled the audience last Friday during Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, and so here are their answers. All right, so these are the leaders in the clubhouse, so to speak. So they said Cody and Derek from GoBro Athletics, Lucas Raymond from Arm Assassin Strength Shop, and Larry from Bulletproof. Now my pick was, and this was just off the top of my head, because we didn't really visit a lot of booths. We were spending time doing a lot of relationship building networking and stuff like that, trying to do some of it. A lot of it was due to our Shopify store, which I'll tell you guys a little bit more about a little later on. But my pick was Rory Ellis from Roman Strength. So that was my pick. If you could think of somebody else who might have been the most jacked and muscular gym equipment brand owner, go ahead and put your answers in the live chat, or if you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. Go ahead and drop that in there, as well as any questions that you might have that you want to see me answer that I didn't answer during the show. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and see what we got here, see if anybody's answered. So let's see. My man Trevor, he said, I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for educational time. Oh, well, we're off to a good start then. We already know who's a jacked gym equipment company owner. Trevor is in Kentucky. He's in a garage gym. I actually, I don't know if you noticed, Trevor, but I actually kind of gave a sneaky shout out to you when I did our booth tour with Vesta Fitness. Because I was talking about, you have pretty low ceilings in your gym, and you were the person to whom I was referring when I mentioned to them, when I was talking to them about the ceiling clearance for one of it might have been the second, it was either the first or the second power rack that I saw from them. So you were the person I was talking about when I said I know someone who's got a home gym with very low ceilings. And he agreed with me about Rory being just a monster. He said Rory had a monster deadlift in sandals during the deadlift party. I mean, that's all this dude wears, which I don't blame him for, because in his day job, he works for our military, and having worn boots for quite some time, your feet get tired. You have boots on all day for days. You just want to have flip flops and be free. That's probably another reason why I spend so much time barefoot now, because of wearing boots when I was in the Marine Corps. Let's see. Rex, what's up, Rex? Rex said that Rory would have to be the best. All right, there's like 689 of you guys, so don't let Trevor and Rex be the only ones who have voted for the most jacked gym equipment brand owner. Go ahead, put more of your votes in there, and we want to hear from you guys. All right, before we get to the next question, I'm going to give a shout out to our guy Sean from Colonial Barbell Club, because he sent me this picture of himself in the Stay Crispy t-shirt, which is part of the Team Crispy Bacon collection. And you guys may know that on Upweights Order Regards in Life, we've got a pretty fierce debate about which kind of bacon is the best. And the discerning people know it's crispy, but there are those of you who believe in floppy bacon. To each your own. But because Sean sent that to me, that was really awesome, because then I was able to add it to the store with his permission, of course. So got the men's Team Crispy Bacon. So this is it right here. Garage Gym Life store, and it's available in sizes from extra small all the way up to 5X. And if you guys see here, we scroll down past these generic images here, and look at this guy right there. You're a star now. He is on our right there on the website. So what I need you guys to do, we got green taken care of. So I need everybody to order either a Team Crispy, or if floppy's more your jam, order a Team Floppy Bacon Garage Gym Life t-shirt. They're both the same. They come in the same sizes, same colors are available. So extra small to 5X. Is what it looks like up close. And you go ahead and order one. That way I can get rid of all these, get rid of the what you call generic product images, and instead replace them with images of you guys. And then if for some strange reason you are not into bacon, you could, let's say you're to Marvel, go ahead, grab yourself an Ice Shaker Marvel spray painted Spider-Man tumbler. That way you can celebrate what a lot of people are saying might be the best MCU adjacent movie to come out in quite some time. So yeah, anyway, just go ahead and click that shopping button that's under this video to visit the store, and you're going to be able to grab merch as well as products that are vetted by our team here at Garage Gym Life. We have a bunch of different contributors who review products with us and everything else. And so, in fact, I just saw one of them pop into the chat. But yeah, so we've got products like from Makolo. We just added Makolo to the store. So we got their Anubis 2.0 Elite All-in-One Trainer. Then Carlos reviewed the Anubis 1.0. We've also got the Bastet 2.0 that I actually reviewed. And if you see, scroll down here past there, boom, look at that guy. That's me right there. All right, because that's the one I reviewed. So anyway, like I said, you guys can go ahead and visit GarageGymLifeMedia.com, or just, as I said, click that shopping button and you will see a bunch of products that go straight to the store. All the money goes right back into the channel so that we can make content, the best possible content for you. All right. I see what you did there, Carlos. He said it's about the move about Spider-Man. Says pretty amazing. I see what you did there. Of course, Carp says, yep, that means that this stream is officially Coach Carp approved, and that is a badge of honor that I wear proudly. All right. 1,390 you guys watching right now. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe for me. Don't just stop by. I need you to hit like, hit subscribe. We got a goal. We're trying to get to 500,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I know we can do it, but we can only do it with you guys' help. So like, subscribe, and share this video and the other videos on the channel that you see. Also, I keep forgetting to tell people to just please hit the hype button, because that also helps out a ton in terms of getting these videos pushed out to more people who might enjoy it. Okay, so Like and subscribe. If you already subscribed, make sure you hit the hype button if you are watching on replay. All right, so let's see here. Oh, okay, so there we go. Ashley the amazing. Hey, hey, hey. Carlos is relentless with the Spider-Man puns, talking about spectacular even. Is it like a movie that you would go watch in a friendly neighborhood potentially? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. And the next question is from Garage Gym Life contributor Inca Strong, who posted this on our video of the Gentleman Fitness Club tour, booth tour. And let's see, let's get rid of this here. Cleaning up a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. All right, so we went into this right here, Gentleman Fitness Club. This is actually pretty popular video. And that's completely 100% down to all you guys, but we're getting actually a number of views from Japan, which I guess makes sense. That's where they're based. So this is their bench right there. And so what our guy Winston wanted to know is he wanted to know, he said, "Dang it, John, just when I thought I'd never sell my Rep Nighthawk, you show us this sweet looking stainless steel adjustable bench." Actually, I'll read it this way. That way you guys can see the bench. Do you think the grip will be sufficient for bench, or will I need to pull out my UPR Tech pad? And then he went on to add the dumbbell spotters, which is further on in the video, are in my Christmas list, so add them to your merch store. So I would love, just based upon this initial experience with the GFC products, I would love to add them to our store. That does require that we spend time with the product for a significant amount of time. We don't just, for those of you who don't know, we don't just see a product, think it's cool, and then add it to our store. Instead, we have to test it, and we vet it for several months to make sure that it's durable and everything else before we're going to put, our seal of approval, our reputation behind it. But everything looks good so far. So he said, but to go back to his question, he wanted to know, is the bench grippy enough, right? And I'll say we got a bunch of comments about that. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the first one, which was from Jared. So Jared unfortunately couldn't be here with us, but he said, but he's the one who kept the GFC bench. So that one that you guys just saw me, that you saw them demoing and you saw in the video if you didn't go to HomeGymCon, that went home to Jared's house, right? So he said, I won't be able to be on this live stream, but I'll say it again, that this adjustable bench needs to be on everyone's radar. It's that good. And I asked him specifically if the bench pad was grippy enough, and Jared said he said he didn't think that he said maybe not for strictly powerlifting training, but it was grippy, and I did feel like it was fairly grippy when I used it, but obviously I didn't have a bar in my hands, so I'd have to test it with a bar in my hands. Now I want to respond to this comment here from Teefs 100. So he said, grippy pads are terrible for shoulder health. It doesn't allow any natural shoulder blade movement, which can cause wear on the glenohumeral joint. Not good. All right, so I think that's I understand your point. However, I think that that's a limited way to look at it, because you're not going to be in that position all of the time. It'd be different if your body was constantly in that down and back and tight position. But if you are benching like a power lifter, then what you need is stability under your shoulders to protect you from your rotator cuff having to hold all of the weight. So I personally believe that you should have a nice wide stable pad, as do most of the top world record holders in bench press. They like a wide surface that they can get into a tight position on. And if you don't have a grippy pad and then you engage with leg drive, what's going to happen what is going to happen is when you push with your legs, your body is going to go backwards. And I don't know how strong you are, but I wouldn't even be willing to let that happen if I only had 135 pounds in my hands. Because as terrible as you might think that a grippy pad is for your shoulder health, a barbell falling on your face is worse for your teeth. So that's my response to that. So I'm just telling you, man, it's and also your shoulders, most of the day your shoulders should be moving just fine. Okay, so I'll switch analogies, right? It's not good for you to clench your teeth all of the time because that bruxism is bad for your tooth enamel and it can lead to TMJ. However, it is highly recommended that you keep your jaw clenched on a mouthpiece if you are engaged in a contact sport like football and boxing or any kind of combat sport, because you need to have a rigid structure if you take blow, when you get contact. That also protects your brain. So, like I said, it's not a case of you can't put just a cookie cutter answer on something like that, because yeah, it may be bad if you're going to be in that position all the time, but in that specific situation, for the I can't imagine somebody benching for longer than a minute. And average bench press probably takes about 5 to 15 seconds, especially if you're doing heavier weight. So I don't think that if your shoulders fall apart because of 15 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds on the bench, you've got some underlying issues that you need to address with some corrective rehab work. So there's that. Let's see. Let's see here. What's up, my man? Cyrus Grissom, 2009, said, "What's up, John? Just wanted to give you a shout. Was a pleasure being there for the live show at HomeGymCon. Those Seminole rolls were to die for, dude. You would never lie. I'm telling you, Kenzie's mom is a legend. Okay, legend. I ain't even kidding. Those cinnamon rolls are amazing." He said, "Sweet Synergy Custom Fitness Rack. By the way, did you score that from the conference?" No, we actually money exchanged hands a while back. So that video went live, man. Now you got me doing research. We've had it for months. We've had it actually over, I want to say maybe 6 months, a little bit more than maybe 8 months actually. What's been happening though is the most recent thing we did. You're probably talking about what I posted on Instagram. So we got the rolling tray for the Synergy Custom Fitness Rack. It was in July when the order arrived, but we didn't actually put it together until day before yesterday. And so I'll just go ahead and pull this up so people know what my man's talking about. Let's see here. Give me just a second. I'm going to go to our Instagram and then I'll share the screen. Because in the process, I was actually giving a shout out to our guy, Jonathan. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and share the screen real quick so you guys see this. I did not have this prepared because I didn't anticipate this coming up. All right, here we go. All right, so you see this, and there is the slide out tray. That is the newest part that we just added. So the rest of it was already there, and then we just added the the rollout tray. And then I had to take a second because Jonathan from No Fate 24/7 gave us this magnet. And it's technically a refrigerator magnet, but of course we went ahead and we put it in the gym. So there you go. All right, moving on. Let's see here. And this is an excellent answer. Ashley's adding about the bench press thing to my man Teefs 100, and I actually prefer. I'm trying to be careful with how I respond to you because I don't want to discourage people from engaging in dialogue. I just don't agree with you, okay? But that's fine. We can disagree without being abusive or anything like that. So So Ashley, who by the way has her master's in kinesiology, she's actually working on her doctorate in kinesiology. Before I answer this question, before I say her comment. So Ashley says grip pad and grip shirts do serve a purpose for big bench. The bench doesn't prevent shoulder girdle movement. It provides friction to prevent body movement under a heavy bar. Okay, so this is always weird because when I'm talking about it, it's like it's so difficult to not use body language. You know what I'm saying? To do like that, like because you get in the position, right? You're down and back, and you're staying tight. Because what's happening then is you're actually well at the bottom. Your lats are actually initiating the push, and you're pushing well. Technically, it's your legs, but your leg drive should be turned on the entire time. You need to have leg drive from the moment you unrack the bar. Then you have your leg drive on. You come down, and then lats, and you push back up. All right. That none of that is bad for your shoulders. I promise you. In fact, it's actually healthier for your shoulders. And Sarah said, great first home gym experience for sure. Oh man, that's dope. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that you came out to the live show, which we're still trying to find a better name for. So make sure you vote on that because we're trying to come up with a better name than the live show at HomeGymCon. That's way too long. Right now, I'm leaning towards the gathering, morning breakfast. I don't know. We'll come up with something. All right. So yeah, you were talking about that. Carp, who actually, what is the reason why how Synergy Custom Fitness actually first got on my radar, says he's a big fan of that rollout shelf. He said it is fire. I'm telling you, when I saw it, I said that is a solution for getting our kettlebells off the floor. All there. Trevor said his vote for the breakfast at HomeGymCon is a HomeGymCon pre-workout. I mean, I guess we could call it that, but we're still workshopping it. Keep on sending your entries in. Carp said, yeah, ask Julius Maddox what kind of bench pad he wants when he's got 800 pounds over his face. Yeah, I hate that I miss seeing Julius too. He's a good guy. I've interviewed him once. We didn't really spend a ton of time, but I think I did like a 20-minute interview with him a few years ago when I did a live stream. But he's a cool dude. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, even and it's not, to me, it's not even it's not just a lot of times we go to like the heaviest weight, and then and the reason I don't like doing that is because then the person can always say, well, I don't bench that much, so I don't need that. And I'm saying it doesn't matter if you're not benching 800 pounds. Do you want a 135-pound bar to hit you in the face? Right? Do you want that? I've seen someone benching 135 and something went wrong and the bar fell and hit her in the face. That was not a good day. That's not a good day, okay? That's enough force. It hit her. So I'll tell you, so it hit her in the face and it yanked her head this way, right? And had we not been able to get her to turn her head back straight before the paramedics got there, she would have ridden in the ambulance with her neck like that, tilted, twisted at an angle, and ain't no telling what kind of damage would have been done. So yeah, the point is, there's a reason why. Yes, there's a sport application because you're reducing the distance the bar travels. You're using your leverages and stuff, but there's also a safety issue, a health factor for why most power lifters bench that way. I promise you, if it didn't work, we'd stop doing it. Okay? If it didn't work and if it was bad for you, we'd stop doing it. So, the Fellowship of Garage Gym Life. See, that's long too. I don't mind. What I'm trying to do is get away from long names. Ideally, it would be one name, right? But I can go for a 2-word name. So Rex says HomeGymCon Homecoming. The problem with that is although HomeGymCon is one word, it's got so many syllables that it sounds like it's 4. HomeGymCon Homecoming. In fact, I see people all the time spell HomeGymCon with spaces between home, gym, and con. But that's their issue, yeah. Carp said, yeah, I've had the entire bench slide off under me before. Definitely not a fun time. I'm telling you, it is not safe. So, sorry. But I appreciate you chiming in. I appreciate you giving feedback, Teeps100. Let's see here. And Carp said, also with leg drive, that's why I always recommend people have like rubber feet on the benches, or they bench on top of carpet or put some type of rubber flooring for the extra friction. All right. Now, anyway, so the answer is yeah, it's reasonably grippy. It's not the grippiest bench I've ever used, but it's reasonably grippy. And then we got another question I'm going to answer because Carlos is actually watching right now. He asked about the Vesta Fitness rack that we showed in the Vesta Fitness booth tour. Let me go ahead and share that now. And so I'll say this, when we went to HomeGymCon, what we were doing was trying not to do random booth tours. We didn't have time to do all of the ones that we got requests to do. Instead, so what we said is we're going to focus and we're only going to do booth tours at booths that provide solutions, right? Like they're solving a problem, not because, so we didn't do booth tours just because, oh, they've got cool stuff. There are plenty of other people who are doing that, and I'm watching those videos. For us, it was more about being a better, being of better service to you guys. And so I went looking for booths that had solutions to the problems you guys are having. I feel that people who have home gyms that they've set up in their apartments tend to go overlooked all of the time because they've got the same space concerns that we have, maybe to an even greater extent. But most of the space saving solutions involve like mounting stuff to a wall. And if you rent your home, your landlord is probably not going to let you bolt your power rack to the wall, especially not in an apartment, right? And then you also got to think about the weight distribution on the floor if you are on like the second or third floor, right? So anyway, so this, I was really excited about what Vesta Fitness had because they had solutions for apartments. And in fact, Jay, who you guys see right here, said he lives in an apartment himself, so he understands the concerns, and he was talking about the different things that he has in his home. So it was a really good conversation, you guys. If you haven't watched it, you definitely need to check it out. But anyway, so Carlos wanted to know about the pull-up bar because as you guys can see, or you'll see in a second here, I'll do this, right? So I'm talking about the pull-up bar, and you see how it like kind of like when I put my hand on it, it kind of pulled it down a little bit, right? When he adjusted it. And so he's going to adjust it here because I was asking right there, what I asked him was, it was kind of close to the wall. I said, is this where it's supposed to be? And he said, no, actually you pull this bolt out and then it comes down like that. Well, when I first grabbed it, it was in a slightly more stable thing, but then you see me grab it there. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but see, I flexed under my hand and all I did was just pull down. So look at it again. I'm going to put my hand on it and I just pulled down. You see how it flexed. Okay, so pause that. Stop sharing. Okay. So Carlos wanted to know, he said he's curious about how sturdy those bars are and how much weight they can sustain. So I did not get a chance to ask Vesta that. I have a call into them. To ask that specific question because, well, I think it's important. It's an important one. I want to know the answer, right? So I'm looking at their website right now to see what the rating is for the pull-up handles. Okay, and it doesn't show it in the specs, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reach out to them and ask that question. And then I will answer that question. I'll follow up on that question next week on Mailbag Monday. So I see we still got name suggestions for the gathering, the breakfast, because I said the Breakfast Club, but I don't want to get sued. So Trevor said the HomeGymCon gathering. Cyrus said that's not okay. So Cyrus, let me say this. Cyrus has a different name on Instagram, and I cannot remember what your name is on Instagram. I think you said Cyrus is your name, but then on Instagram your name is something else, but I cannot remember what it is. So my apologies. But in any case, he said Cinnamon Gathering of Gains, which sounds amazing. However, it's too long. Carp said FOC breakfast. That one right there. I like that. I like that. Because we're founding members of the FOC, okay? So I'm a huge fan. And for those who don't know, FOC means Friends of Carp. because Carp is your favorite influencer's favorite influencer. And he's one of the most supportive content creators in the home gym space. Hey, stacking breakfast. Look at that. Hey, I like that. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so that was the last question of the day. I'm gonna end this episode now. Head down to the garage to train. This Friday, we're gonna be continuing to unpack the experience that was HomeGymCon. Speaking of HomeGymCon, what we're gonna be focusing on for the rest of the month is finding out what first timers thought about HomeGymCon. I'm really curious about people who went there for the first time, what caused them to finally pull the trigger to go. I mean, for some people, it's as simple as you just didn't know about it, right? Other people have been kind of on the fence about whether they wanted to attend or not. So I'm curious about what caused people to want to attend HomeGymCon for the first time this year. And so my guests are Mario Rego from 46 Fitness and Jared Moon from Garage Gym Athlete. They're going to be my guests. Mario's going to be on in the 7 a.m. hour, and Jared's coming on at 8 Eastern Time. I can tell you that as a performance-focused coach, Jared was not super excited about the fancy setups because he did an Instagram post where he was kind of saying that some of these fancy setups are actually getting in the way of people actually working out. So I'm going to give him a chance to unpack that. I do agree with it to a certain extent. But I also want him to come on and talk about HomeGymCon because he was really excited about some other aspects of HomeGymCon. So I'm going to give him a chance to explain all that. And I think you guys enjoyed the conversation. Plus, I owe him because he had me as a guest on the the Garage Gym Athlete podcast years ago. And I said I was going to return the favor, and I'm finally going to do it. Yeah. A few years late, but yeah. So that's it. So anyway, we're going to unpack all of that this Friday. Ashley's leaving because she's got to go walk her mule. So that's a good, segue for us to get out of here. Remember to keep checking GarageGymLifeMedia.com. We're going to continue to add new brands to join Fringe Sport, Exponent Edge, Macolo, and all of our other trusted and vetted vendors. All right, but most of all, I want you guys to keep stacking days. Peace out.